Okay, sir. Happy Friendship Day, sir.
Happy Friendship Day, sir. Same to you and same all.
YouTube live போயிடுச்சா?
இல்ல சார், இப்பதான் போடலாமான்னு கேட்கலாம் தான். இப்போ ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாமா?
இல்ல அதுல எத்தனை பேர் ஜாயின் பண்றதுக்கான ஒரு செக் கொடுத்துங்க
சார். இப்போ லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம் கொடுத்துருக்கேன், பாருங்க.
ஓகே சார். ஓகே சார்.
ஸ்லைட் வந்து ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன் சார். உள்ள சின்னதா இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கு.
நீங்க ஆமா அப்படிதான் இருக்கும்.
இல்லப்பா ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன் இருக்குப்பா.
ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன் வருதுப்பா.
மொபைல்ல பாக்குறேன்.
ஓஹோ, ஓகே சார். ஓகே ஓகே.
ஆனா எக்கோ வருது. வாட் டு பி டன்? ரெண்டு சிஸ்டம்ல யாரா ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்கோமா?
இல்ல அதான் யாராவது
இல்ல அந்த மாதிரி யாருமே ஜாயின் பண்ணல.
ரெண்டு சிஸ்டத்துல ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டா மைக் ஒன்னு ஆஃப் பண்ணிடுங்க.
அவர் கார்த்திக் நீங்க அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா?
இல்ல சார், இல்ல நான் வந்து ஒரே இதுல தான் இருக்கேன். ஆனா எனக்கும் எக்கோ ஆகுது.
சார் நீங்க இல்ல
கார்த்திக் மட்டும் ஒரு செக் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
சரிங்க சார். நான் இதெல்லாம் நான் கால் லீவ் பண்ணிட்டு திருப்பி ஜாயின் பண்றேன்.
சும்மா லீவ் பண்ணி ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்கோ. எனக்கு கேக்குதா? ஆனா
இல்ல எனக்கு எந்த எக்கோவும் கேட்கல. எனக்கு எதுவும் இல்ல சார்.
இல்ல எனக்கு மாதவராஜன் எனக்கும் இப்போ நான் பேசுறது
உனக்கு எக்கோ ஆகுதா கார்த்திக்?
எஸ் சார்.
நான் வெளியில போறேன், திருப்பி பேசி பாருங்க.
சரி, இப்போ ஓகேவா?
சார்
So we are warm welcoming Mr. Karthik Raja, automation engineer at C.
A good student. He is one of the awarding So now
We have 3
I'm
watching.
So now I'm welcoming Karthik Raja to present the My College, My Junior series on today.
We can, Shivakumar sir, can you hear me?
Sir,
We have only 4 students are watching over here.
okay.
We'll give a reminder in all our WhatsApp groups. For another 2 minutes, wait, and we can once again go with the.
Sir, actually Karthik Raja screen is not sharing, I think so.
கார்த்திக் ராஜா உங்க ஸ்கிரீனை பிரசன்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
எஸ் சார்.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்கிரீன் பிரசன்ட் பண்ணிட்டு அப்படியே நீங்க வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க.
இப்போ ஃபைனா சார்?
Okay, Karthik.
In YouTube Live, we haven't received your screen.
Okay.
Sir, சங்கரன் சார், இந்த ஸ்கிரீனை வந்து நீங்க பின் பண்ணணும். அதுல ஸ்கிரீன் மாறி இருக்கு.
கொஞ்சம் டிலே இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் சார். டிலே இருக்கும் சார்.
ஓகே, நோ ப்ராப்ளம் சார். ஆனா இந்த மீட்ல இருக்கிறது அங்க வரணும்னா இவர் எந்த ஸ்கிரீன் பிரசன்ட் பண்றாரோ அந்த ஸ்கிரீன் அங்க செலக்ட் ஆகிற மாதிரி இருக்கணும்.
அது செலக்ட் ஆயிதான் கரெக்டா தான்.
ஓகே.
ஓகே சார். அது இன்னும் டிலே இருக்குன்னு
Now ஸ்கிரீன் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆயிடுச்சு. ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 38 லைவ்ல இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
சார் டைமிங் மேட்ச் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
39, 38, 39, yes. Yes, you can start introducing, sir. Now I will just once again remind the students to come.
Okay. நான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணட்டுமா இல்ல shall I wait?
You can start, Karthik.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Good morning, my dear juniors, my staffs and my profs. So it's Sunday. I know how it's hard to be hearing a webinar in the morning itself. So when Shivakumar sir contacted me regarding this webinar, he was asking me to just be just it's like let's have an informal session. You're sharing your experience with your juniors. So let it be like that. Just it's enough. So even there's no need for preparing in a slide or something. Just come talk with your juniors. So that was the request made to me. So yeah. So and for you all to be in line with all those things, I just wanted to make slides and all those things. So hopefully, yes, I believe everyone is comfortable with the language. It's going to be a very informal session. I'll use English and somewhere here and there Tamil for the convenience and for creating an rapport between the hearers and myself. So let me start. So first of all, don't think whether you are in a wrong session. You are in right session, and I'm Karthik Raja. On seeing my screen, the topic is different, and topic what the poster had is different, but the meaning is actually same. So that's why I meant to change the topic a bit different. So the posters in what you have seen, the topic would have been development of core competencies for professional growth of engineers. Yeah, so that is actually, it sounds a bit jargon, right? So it sounds a bit hard, right? Let's make it simple, yeah. So when we see it as a simple, yeah, it's just this thing, being an engineer, that's all. So how to be an engineer, how to be a proper engineer, how the society thinks about us, how you think about engineering, how I think about engineering, and how others think about engineering. So this is what the first point with which this talk is going to begin with. And I'm going to share my love story with engineering. Yeah, I fell in love with engineering 6 years back, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So this happened 6 years back, and most of you, I was also one of the ordained engineer. So I had a travel from ordained engineer to a passionate engineer. So what is ordained engineer? Simple, very classically, or very cliche comment on this thing is that, okay, when a boy in India is born, he is mandated to be an engineer. So that is the hard and fast rule every parent of engineer, every parent in India believes. Yeah, so I'm also one of the victim of such thing. So I was compelled into engineer at the beginning. Yeah. So after finishing my 12th, like most of you, I had various dreams. I wanted to become a lawyer. I wanted to do my majors in political science. But still, yeah, time has its own plans. I became an engineer. So the first year coming to our college, I felt a bit hard to cope up with the curriculum, cope up with things. So I felt a bit hard. The one particular thing which made me come to college is that, jokes apart, the one particular thing which made me come to college is especially food. And I had a maths teacher. So I'm not very good at maths, but she taught me maths very well. So I had two reasons to come to college: the maths teacher and the food in our college. So that is what made me the whole 1 year. I was just exploring what is this engineering is going to offer me, and I was very, very bad, and I was in very bad impression, and I was struggling with myself that I wanted to become a lawyer, and I came to this engineering because, of course, my parents wanted to do it. So I had that feeling. So I was an ordained engineer. So I was ordered to be an engineer. So I didn't willingly come up with this plan. But things changed. After 1 year, I entered into the department. So inside the department, at that point, actually, I was like, okay, so it's been a year. I have just 3 years ahead. I should do something. I cannot mourn that, no, I'm not liking this field now. I don't want to do that. So what I thought is that, okay, let's see. My initial thing, I didn't create passion, or I was not very ambitious about instrumentation. I didn't even know what it is happening. So initially I was just wondering. I was waiting what is there to be offered, and I was just thinking going to a sweet shop and seeing the showcase full of sweets and wondering what these are. That was the exact thing which I experienced when I entered into the department. So after entering the department had lots to offer. See, I'm not here advertising the department, promoting the department, just saying what happened. Okay, so there I had very good opportunities. I have good faculties and good lectures. I actually, most of the people, I believe that you all are from third year or second year. I hope. So in our second year and third year, we will be studying the mix of electronic subjects and instrumentation subjects, right? So I was much more oriented over the instrumentation subject. I lacked till there. I lacked confidence over subjects like circuit theory, LIC, EDC, and those subjects. But my favorite subject is industrial instrumentation. So I love that subject. By loving that subject, it actually, if I'm not wrong, it comes around fourth and fifth semester. I believe fourth or fifth and sixth, something like that. I'm not very sure. So that created a lot of passion. Then sensors and transducers, or actually all are linked subjects actually. So from transducers, measurements, transducers, and industrial instruments, this is how we climb up the ladder. So those subjects actually created a vast fascination towards me. I love those things, how those things sense something, a physical quantity sense. Those things actually created a small attractiveness towards the field actually. Then I stopped there and I was thinking, it is this point? No, that is not much more fascinating. Then I had an opportunity to mingle with professors. One of my profs introduced me to research, and I'm not going to name anyone, but one prof introduced me to research. So we were actually working with PID controllers, basic PID controllers, but at that stage I was not, I didn't do my control theory course or process control course. I'm least aware of PID control. What is a PID controller? Technically, I didn't go through the theory course, but he explained me what is what and what is it. So the point where I really get fascinated is that what and all he explains me, I will go and talk to my friends, those friends who are in Anna universities, those who are in IITs. One of my friends was in NIFTM, National Institute of Technology. It's in Delhi. So when I go and talk to the same thing, they were like, "Oh my God, you are doing some magic, Karthik. That PID controller is going to control the flow. It is going to control the level." These are happening in the second year of mine, later second year of mine. So they were like fascinating. They are studying top-notch colleges, and they are getting astonished by what I am talking. I'm saying they felt like I'm doing some magic with all these things. So that point I felt, okay, these people, I am doing something far better than these people. That point actually triggered me. That is the first step. I created a passion towards the field actually. That's the first initial step where I felt, okay, I am doing something good, and people are getting astonished by what I am doing. So that is the first step. Yes. So after that, we were continuing those processes. Then there is a wonderful opportunity in our college called the value-added courses. I don't know how many of you people have utilized those courses, but I am one of the person who utilized it or I used the opportunity very rightly. It happened actually. I voluntarily or I didn't plan it and utilize it. So it happened volunteer. It happened automatically. So one of at our times, one of the value-added courses was PLC coaching. So me and my friend, we both actually, most of you people would have seen me and my friend on the walls of our college department's building, I hope. So we both do everything together. That was the case in our college times. So we both planned to go to the PLC value-added course. So we went there as usual. It was a 1 week course. We finished, we got certificates and everything, and went parallelly. There will be other courses running. Yeah, at that time, one of the other courses was embedded systems. It was using MSP430 controller and IoT controller, a newly introduced IoT controller. So that was a parallel course. We both, as I told earlier, I was a bit oriented to industrial automation and instrumentation. So I wanted to go to PLC. So after doing that, I didn't even go to the embedded system course, but one other professor offered me a chance to explore what happened in those embedded course after the course has been ended. Actually, we went to the labs. we sat together. We sat even 6 o'clock. You all know, most of you know that we just sit. We are actually allowed to be in college till 5. That 5 o'clock bus goes, we are that's all doomed. We should walk till the outgate, and then we should find a bus and we should go home. So, but that professor actually stayed with me. We till 6 o'clock. There are stories till 6 o'clock. We will be sitting there, and I actually till that I owe him. He gave money for me to return back home, and those were the times I unknowingly grew a passion towards the field, the engineering. So lots and lots of things I learned during that period. I learned in the lab. I learned hands-on. So that's the process I actually started learning. Then certain things happen. We will throughout the presentation, then and there I'll include what all happened. So these were the starting points for my fascination towards instrumentation engineering. I usually tell wherever I speak, instrumentation engineering is the most flexible engineering subject ever. So if you go and ask an electrical engineer to study about something like industrial instrumentation or something else, he will find it difficult, or I'm just doubting it how much he can relate to it. But when an instrumentation engineer wants to study some electrical subject or a communication subject or a telecommunication subject, believe me, you can even study a material science subject or a biomechanics or robotics and everything, each and everything. This is the versatility of our particular instrumentation engineering. So this is where I started to become transform from an ordained engineer to a passionate engineer. So coming to the point today, being an engineer. So that is our topic, and how to be an engineer. So those things we are going to discuss today. So before going that, who is an engineer? So like the slide says, engineer apply the principles of science, mathematics to develop economical solutions and technical problems. Their work is to link between the scientific discoveries and commercial applications, meet societal and consumer needs. So this is a term as defined by Google, actually. No particular person said this. So Google's definition is this. So what you people understand from this thing? Let us start from before going what you people mean, let us start how the society thinks who's an engineer. Okay, so as for my what I concern, my environment, my relatives, my friends, let us see engineer. Okay, if you go and say, let us take for instance, let us take மாப்பிள்ள என்ன பண்றாரு, மாப்பிள்ள இன்ஜினியரா இருக்கு. Wow, அப்பனா பயங்கரமா சம்பாதிப்பாரு. So this is a common term everyone would have heard in your relative speech or in movies and everywhere. So engineer nale, it's a software engineer, a person who works with a laptop, and a person who works in night shifts, or a person who supports their clients in US or UK or Western countries. So it's not reality. Okay, so engineers are far beyond what we think, what the society thinks, what everyone thinks. So the reason behind that is that societal stigma, I would say. So I believe that many of your parents would have been engineers, your relatives would have been engineers, your friends would have been engineers. But let us assume my father is my father is an engineer in TNED. Okay, so he won't be addressed as an engineer anywhere. Everyone will address him. Our government. So we are not prioritizing engineer. So we are saying just he is a government job guy, so he is owning a government job. See, this happened not only there. Okay, the scientists in DRDOs and ISROs are engineers. Actually, they have their PhD, they are ME, they are having their B degrees, but they are termed as scientists. Okay, our professors are engineers actually, but we are terming them as professors. So the engineering field is actually existing, and we are revolving, and we are made of engineers. The world is created out of engineers, but there is a small social stigma that we often forget those engineers and the term engineer. So this is the problem, which is not creating passion or fascination in the current engineering students, or the going to come engineering students are going to become engineers. So this is the problem. So the lack of social stigma about who and or the clarity in who's an engineer and what he's capable of and what he's able to do. So it is not actually the case. My intention is not to compare with other disciplines, but I just wanted to make you understand that it is not actually the case. In a doctor, even if a doctor is a professor, he's a doctor. Even if a doctor is he's working in a government hospital, he's a doctor. He's in Apollo, he's a doctor. He's having his own clinic, he's a doctor. Same implies for a lawyer. Wherever he is, Supreme Court, High Court, any court, he's a lawyer. But the tragic situation of engineers is that if we lack to understand what is and what engineer is doing and what he contributes to each and every day of our life. So I can say numerous examples and talk about this all day. Everything what we are listening today, we are seeing, you would have been seeing this from laptops, mobile phones, anything. Everything is, there is a hardship of an engineer, there is a design engineer, there is an embedded system engineer everywhere behind every product you use day-to-day life, even the fan, the electricity. Today, the COVID virus, those vaccines are worked out by biomedical engineers. How many of them know that? So we actually, in our society, we are the lack of recognizing those engineers is there. So that is the main drawback actually. So let's see. As I said earlier, wherever I taught, I got this term also. So engineer is a person, according to my definition, who practices what he learns in the college in his time of doing his master's or bachelor's in the work. So that is what a white collar job is. So you would have often heard about white collar jobs. So what is a white collar job? If you go and search in the Google, there will be a fantastic definition saying the person who practices what he has learned in his job. Such kind of jobs are known as white collar jobs. So let us assume the first picture shows a doctor. So doctor learns something in the class, in the laboratories, and he is practicing it. What he learned, he's practicing on the patients. So we say, you would have heard that he's practicing as a doctor, he's practicing as a home surgeon. So he's actually practicing what he's learned. So he's a white collar job. He passes the criteria. Yes, he's a white collar job. So next, coming to the lawyer. So if a lawyer, yes, he's also the same guy. So he learns everything from the classes and his courses. Then he's applying it in saving his clients and winning his court. So he's practicing what he's doing. But engineers, what do you think we do? So yeah, there is a question mark. I'll add that question mark. I will answer to that point. We engineers are also equivalent to these things. That is why we are known as professionals. The engineering course is known as a professional course. The lawyer is a professional course. Doctorate, MBBS is a professional course, and engineering is a professional course. That means a doctor, if he gets his degree, he can set up his own clinic, and there is no need someone else should come and give him a job. For a lawyer, same thing applies. He can set up his own office and he can take clients and he can go to the court on his own, and he never depends on anyone to give him a labor, give him a job. Same case implies for an engineer, actually. Yeah, we have, because of the wide application area of us, certain places we can't do. You cannot go set up a turbine and you can say that I will go and repair a turbine. So it is not that case. Okay. But still, the professional course is a professional. You always can be a freelancer. There is no necessary thing that someone should give you a job. When you get your degree, you are fully prepared and fully ready to be a complete engineer and go to the market and go repair something, go troubleshoot something, go do something. So you are always ready. But the question is, are we engineers? So a doctor, when he completes his 5 years or so, he gains a confidence. He gains the confidence to do what he wishes. He can treat patients. He gains the confidence that he will be treating patients. A lawyer gains confidence that he can go to the court and he can go talk to the judge and he can win the. But engineers, do we have that thing? So do we have that confidence? So we should. This is the point we should think. Are we engineers? Are we eligible to be engineers? In what way we can say ourselves that we are engineers? What is the mark? What is the point? Why we are lacking that confidence? So what is the bridge actually? What is the problem? So that is the key point of today's thing. So as I said, we should give a self check where we lack. What is the problem which couldn't make us being an engineer, or we are not confident over it. So I will think about it. So according to me, my job experience, I would say what we learn, where we apply, there is a big gap, and I just want you all to stick on to what you learn and how you apply. Okay. So this is one of my favorite slides of today. So here is where you can meet love of your life. I'm meaning engineering, not any love of any other love of your life. Okay. So engineering, where you can fall in love with engineering. Yeah, this your class. It is your laboratories and it is books. I will go through on classrooms, laboratories. So first of all, classroom is a place where you can learn. I'm also came from the same benches where you are sitting now. So I know how hard it is when I was there. So actually, whenever I talk to students, my juniors, always there is a big question. We are not getting placed in core companies. So what is the thing? We are not able to get into core companies. We are not getting jobs. So overall, so the most comments which I get from my juniors is that we are not getting into core companies. See, there is a gap. You should understand. If you are not getting it, there is a gap. Then you should fill that gap. So that is the main point. And where you can fill those gaps are these three places. It is these three places where you are going to fill them. So classroom is the place where you are going to learn something. So I would say, I would put the sentence something like this: the birthplace of an engineer is classroom. Actually, this is where you are taught or you are introduced to concepts. But this is, and to the very sad situation of our system is that this is the place where we lack everything. We people are very, very, very careless and unaware that the importance of this place. I just wanted to introduce about the practices of IITs or any other foreign universities. There they will be having coursework and lectures. They won't term the subjects. They won't have the term subjects. It is lectures and courses. Okay, so the courses are much more important. The professor, if he is going to take a course, the students will be like, I don't want to miss the lecture. I can't miss the lecture, and if I miss the lecture, I won't get that concept from anywhere else. So today we have lots and lots of exposure and lots of resources, but nothing I can write and give you. Nothing can replace the experience and knowledge what you are going to gain from the classroom. It is very hard. I know it is very hard. As I said earlier, I also had some. I was in certain subjects I was very dull. Those subjects I missed those classroom lectures, and I was physically present and mentally absent on those classrooms. And out of my experience, I'm saying till date, I am dull in those subjects. Okay, I'm not very good at LIC till date. I'm not very good at EDC till date because I was not concentrating on those classrooms. But comparatively, I would suggest I was very happy in listening to industrial instrumentation lectures and transducer lectures and control system lectures, and I am a bit good at those things. So this is the first thing. So jumping on to the second thing, laboratories. Okay, so persons, some of you people can relate with me. So I'm a person who learns from laboratories. I will do something hands-on. I will learn something from the laboratory. So I learned, though I didn't have good theoretical background of LIC, EDC, and those circuit-based subjects and electronics-based subjects, I worked in my laboratory with my friend, with my profs, throughout my 2 years, or the last 2 years of my engineering bachelor's, last 2 years of my bachelor's, fully on electronics. I understood what is ADC, what is DAC, what is an analog input, what is a digital input, everything, how to calculate an ADC, everything I learned from laboratories. How to do soldering, everything. Yeah, you name it in electronics, I can do it. I can make an PCB, I can make a power supply source, I can make an voltage regulator. You name it, I can do everything in it. Though I'm not good at LIC, EDC, and those things, which are the basis, circuit theory, which are the basis of electronics. But those same electronic things I learned from laboratories. So this is my turning point. So where I balance both my theory subjects and practical, where I was weak in. So there could be a case those people have good theoretical knowledge, began electronics, and you lack some problem, you are having some problem with the instrumentation subjects, jump into the laboratory. When you have a dull subject, you feel something dull in the theory classes, definitely you're going to have a laboratory session for that, or just ask your professors, go hit on them and ask them to take you to the labs and go spend n number of time in your laboratory. Okay, so that is the place where you are going to learn. So if you are very balanced, for people who are very good at everything, theory and laboratories, what you learn, try to match in the laboratories. Okay, the laboratory is the place where you can try or see what you have learned is right or wrong. Or the happiness, just go after the reopening of the college, just go and try one thing, just implement a simple thing. Okay, just simple thing, what you studied in transducer, for example, LVDT or strain gauge, something. I think we have strain gauges in our laboratories. So go there, calculate something and put a value and calculate something and find something. That finding will give you happiness. That will drive you towards the next experiment or next thing. So you will find the real happiness of doing something in the laboratories. In my masters, if I can say, we would be having classes till morning first 4 hours. Then and there we'll be having lectures. We had a different model when I did my masters. So we'll be having lectures. Then and there, when the professor calls, we will go sit and attend our lectures, and rest of the time we spend our time in the laboratories. So that was even the advice given by profs in St. Joseph's when I entered doing my masters. I sit in the process control lab. I love to do experiments. I do temperature control. I do level control. All those stuff I do. So those exact facilities we are having in our laboratories also. We have the conical tank, we have the spherical tank, everything we are having, and just it is a small step you should take from the classroom to the laboratory, and it will transform you into it will give a very big transformation. You should try it. It's actually, so these two are, I would say, the best places to begin your engineering fascination, or these places. When you are lively in these two places, it will create an automatic passion towards engineering. So coming to the last and the favorite part, the books. So I should accept certain mistakes what I done during my bachelor's. Yeah, I didn't utilize much of my books. Actually, I didn't. I take notes of my classes, my lectures. I take the notes what my profs give. Then I prepare some. I'll be supplied by some material and these things. And our favorite local author books. These were what made my bachelor degree days. But after coming to the master degree, I learned that how books are very important and how books could give you more and more insights what the classroom and laboratories can't give. It's not can't give. Certain things can't be discussed in the class, and certain things can't be given you at the laboratories. The wholesome things can never happen. So you all know the famous law of thermodynamics. So there is nothing called as 100%. Yeah. So that's what thermodynamics and laws of science says, right? So you can't get everything from classroom, you can't get everything from laboratories, but books, yes, you can get everything. That's just patience is what all you needed to go through it. So when you start reading some books, I heard from my colleagues in IITs and foreign universities saying that the one thing which made me or created fascination towards a particular course, a particular subject, is reading a book, a standard book. It is not mandatory to be a foreign author book, okay? It's a standard book. When you start reading, till that, it is not. I'm not trying to boast myself. Till that, I love reading SKC. So till date, in my office, I am having SKC. So there, in my desk, there will be it will be there always. I'm not going to use it day to day, but I won't use it in a daily basis. I won't refer to something and do. But I love to see it. I love to the way SK Singh has written that industrial instrumentation book. I really love it. So I don't know whether my love towards industrial instrumentation started from that point or because of SK Singh or because of the lectures. I don't know, but still today. Till in my home, when I doing my work from home things, I have in my study table, that book will be always there on my table. So when you start reading, when you find a good book, you'll definitely fall in love with that book, and because of that, you will fall in love with your subject. Please, these three things anyone can say, but when you try it, you will feel it. Until and unless you try, it is very hard to understand what I'm trying to. It's a feeling here, okay? It is not something like. So my next slide actually says about it. It is not about quantifying what I am feeling. It is actually qualitative thing. It is a feeling actually. Only when you do it, you know what it is. Okay. So coming to this slide. So it is not about the quantity, or if I say something like this, I know you people can ask me. So how I should be there, how much time I should go get the lectures, and how much time I should spend in the laboratories, how I should use the books, and what books I should read. Come on, yeah. So it is not about the quantitative purpose. It is about the qualitative purpose. In the classroom, if you are listening to a lecture, how qualitatively you are attending over it. So there is a big thing about, there is a good key about lectures here. Okay, when you want to understand the subject, when you want to go into the that when you ask good questions, you are going to get good answers, and that good our staffs are very much equipped, and they are all almost willing to answer all and each and every question. But put your hand on your heart and just say, have you ever worried about asking a question in the lecture? So if we're asking the question, நம்ம அதை கவனிக்கணும். lecture என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்றது கேட்டாதான் we'll be having an opportunity to ask the lecture. So that lecture is actually a brainstorming session. You should listen, and it is going to tickle your brain to think towards it. Each and every lecture, you can ask a number of questions, and each and every lecture is going to give you a new perspective of the whole understanding what you are having over the subject, or the engineering, or the society, or the environment, everything. So please understand to those lectures. The one good thing what I felt about this COVID situation, we are all listening to n number of webinars and n number of online lectures and those things. At least these webinars, during these webinars, special guest comes and talks, and those times we actually give the ears to them. The same way, these are the technical lectures what our profs are taking our classes are equivalently important, and that is more than important what someone comes and talks for an hour and goes. Okay, it is much more important. So those lectures are not in the hands of the profs. It is actually in the hands of the students who sit and watch those lectures. So there is always a famous saying, when you point, I know the usual classical complaint that my profs are not taking the classes well, they are not interesting. Please don't do it here. I also came from the same situation. I also complained those things. I also made those complaints. I know, but today I am regretting all those things. It is me actually who was not able to hear what they wanted to say. So the famous thing says, when you point a finger out on someone, there is other three fingers pointing out you. So when you are right, then it is not happening, then you have the right to ask the question. So then properly select the courses what you what you think that it will enhance you. So if you are in there will be option of doing mood courses, I think your regulation, then elective courses. Choose those electives properly, which is going to satisfy you. So I did certain elective courses in my masters, which actually I wanted to do something. I wanted to do optimal control theory. So I was fascinated over that. I just wanted. Other thing was in some other subjects for industrial data networks, I think, if I'm not wrong. So I was not more fascinated over it because I was working on a control problem. So I just needed optimal control theory. I'm just telling how to select an elective and how to get oriented towards your courses and how to select your interest of subjects. So coming to the laboratories, as I said, spend time in labs. Yeah, if you go and see in IITs and Anna University or MIT, those people will live in the laboratories. Literally, they will live in the laboratories. I know I have stayed till 6 and 7 in the laboratories alone, in the mosquito bites and everything. But those time made me what I'm today. So those time I got such knowledges, such things which I didn't get from any other resources or any other courses or any other things. Those hardships will really pay off when you are coming out of finishing it. Okay, so and that thing, it's a feeling here. Spending time in laboratory, it's a feeling. See, just the 4 hours what you spend in the laboratory is not at all enough. Beyond 4 hours is the time where you start exploring things. So try to feel that. Okay, all these, the colleges are not reopening and those things are happening. All these things, all this, when I see all these messages, one thing I worry about is that the experience what you get in laboratories. I am having a brother who is doing his engineering. He's in his 2nd year. I always tell him, see, that only classes can be made in online, but what you miss in the laboratory is really, 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 it is irreplaceable. Classes can be taught in the online, but the experience what you are going to get and the hands-on touch and feel of those things. I still remember the deadweight tester in our industrial instrumentation lab. When you we have a like steering kind of thing. When you rotate it very fast, it will throw out that gauge actually. So we had those funny moments and all. So those things you won't get on seeing in deadweight tester in a book or in a screen or something like that. So you should really go there, and we have experiences where we have burnt ICs and all those stuff. There are more things to explore and share on in the laboratory side of it. Then, as I said, books. Yes, the books will make you more and more interesting towards the subject. If you love book, if you want to understand a subject, go hit the books. Go hit some book. Yes, first time when you read, you won't understand anything. Read it for the second time, you won't understand anything. When you read it for the third time, yes, you are the master in the subject in your whole class and the whole group, and you can go and debate on anything in that subject. Try that. You will feel the superiority when you read a book completely, and you will have a supreme hold over a subject when you read those books. So this is the missing puzzle, guys. So this is the missing puzzle. These three combinations, as I'm showing here. So this combination of all these things is the missing puzzle. So if you are able to work on all these things, and the collaborative output will make you as an wholesome engineer. So I think I have half time left, so I'll speed up on my things. So the final thing in college, what we can do before entering into the next dimension of engineering, we will see all these things. Okay, the first point is language and communication. It is very, very important. Language is communication. I know most of us, at least most of us, are from an English-based schooling. So and there are other people who is now, and I know our college is helping in various other ways to develop the language and communication skills. It is actually very, very, very important, and it is a very important trait of an engineer to be having a good communication skill and language skill, both a written skill and a spoken skill. It is what we expect. You won't believe, I'm working in a US-based company, and to clarify, I will talk about my company in the later stage if I have time. But to give a small glimpse, I'm actually not working like a client-based service. I'm not working to a client who is in US and I'm giving some service to it. No, it is not happening like that. I'm working in a branch of a company which is there in US. Headquarters is in US, and it is a branch here. So I directly work on projects with there. I directly work on projects. I don't have an intermediate client or something like that. Okay, I directly address the end user. So in our company, we have most of our company's employees are Native Americans. So those people still insist on writing skills. You know, India is a country which is not having a mother tongue as English. We just have a formal language as English. But America is a country where their mother tongue is English. So in such country itself, they often insist. We all are engineers actually. Okay, we all are experienced engineers. We have 15, 20, 25 years engineers. Those who still insist in importance of writing skills and speaking skills. You won't believe this. We are a Pakka core company. We deal with the cutting edge technology of automation engineering and all other remaining engineering stuffs. But we still insist on proper communication and proper language. So please understand the importance of language and communication. And please understand, I can share you one small bit of one of my friend who is studying in IIT. He's doing his master's there. He's professor. He's doing a research master's, MSc. He's doing his MS. His professor sits with him every week on a Wednesday, and for an hour he will teach English. For an hour he will teach English. You won't believe. One of the India's most reputed institution, top institution, ranking 1 institution, where a technical professor who has finished his postdoc and a graduate who is doing his MS after clearing GATE and all those stuff are sitting every week hour and learning English together. Will you believe me? So this is how it is important to be in your knowledge of language and communication. Then coming to the second point, key technology. So this is my favorite part, and this is where this is one which I follow. So we Indians are actually multifaceted. So we can do many things at a single time. Okay, so this is one of that kind of thing. So be a jack of all trades and king of one. So I have changed the proverb a bit. The proverb actually says jack of all trades and king of none. But I'm saying jack of all trades and king of one. When I finished my bachelor's, I was having a key hold on one particular topic, Internet of Things. I could make wonders in that topic. I was very confident and strong over that one particular subject. If you ask whether you are strong in process control, whether you are, I was not strong and confident over those things, but I also equally known what all those things. What is a control theory? What is process control? What is transducers? What is LIC? What is EDC? I had a skeletal based outline and a good hold of those things. But I was very confident on all the interviews I attended after my bachelor's and during the placements. My area of interest was Internet of Things. I was very strong in that, both the programming side and both the hardware side, software and hardware side. I was a bit strong in both things. So I would suggest the same thing to you people also. Take a key technology. It could be anything: machine learning, your artificial intelligence, data science, anything. Yeah, it could be any programming skill. It could be anything. But find one thing and be the king in that one thing. That will definitely take you where you are. That will be the vehicle which will take you to your dream destination. Okay. But at the same time, you are an engineer. Be the jack of all trades. You should know all the courses, and you should have at least a small hold on everything. And no courses goes in vain. I will talk about it later period. No course goes in vain. You would have had talks with your friends like, "Hey, talks." You would have you would have had with your friends. I had with my friends, but today I'm applying everything what I learned in my job. So you will feel it after a time, but okay, that is the difference. I'm here to tell those things. Maybe you people can correct those things and get a better opportunity. Then coming to the point 3, internships. I know during bachelors, I don't know how much the value of internship is understood by the students. But the real internship concept is actually very important. It will give you a eye opener. It will be an eye opener actually. If you go to a proper internship and go address their problems and work on their problems, how they are solving the problems, learn how they are solving their problems, then it will be a eye opener. So it is the link between the classroom and a shop floor. It is where you will know how a transmitter looks like, or how a pipe looks like, or how a boiler looks like, or how a processor looks like. Or have you ever known? I went to an internship when I was in my bachelor's, where I went to a phone manufacturing company. Actually, it's a Nokia's tie-up company. So I went there, and they were using. That is the place where I heard about static electricity. We people, when our laptops and phones we'll take a kerchief or something which we can reach with your hand and just rub over the monitor, right? It is a very bad thing to do that. Actually, it develops static electricity, which will affect the micro nano components in your circuitry in your mobile phone and their laptops. Yeah, it does. Okay, so no books will say that, no lectures will introduce to those things, and it is internships where you will learn all those things. So internships, please do it with a open mind. Just don't go and see their processes and just what is happening there. It is not an internship. Please understand, that is implant training. Okay, there is a difference between an internship and an implant training. If you go see their visit, don't do it like a field visit which is extended for a week. So don't do it like that. Okay, internship, take a problem, solve a problem. Okay, so you solve a problem there and learn how the problem is solved, how to apply what you have learned. So that is how an internship is going to happen. So I hope people are from second year and third year are watching these things. You are going to take an internship. Please plan accordingly. Yeah, I know it is very hard to find good internships and good things, but there are ways. We can even talk about those things in a separate day time permits. So finally, coming to the final part, this fourth part of the engineering thing is that capstone project. So capstone, the meaning is that most of the persons who has done online courses know this term capstone. The capstone is a stone which is kept in the crown, head of the crown, so the topmost thing. So that is what the project means also. So project is the place where you learn everything here. So all those 6 months, if you spend it properly, all the 3 years what you studied, 3.5 years what you studied, you are going to apply every single thing what you learned in that project. And you can learn. If you missed 3.5 years, you didn't learn anything. Please do it in the 6 months. Definitely, it will going to fetch you a job. That project can take you heights. So that project actually lifted me in my things. So I did a project, and for that project, I got the award. Obviously, half of you people might have known why I got those things. And I had very good support from all staffs, and I utilized the laboratories. Actually, I should say this point. Actually, we didn't buy for that making the project. We didn't buy anything. We took the components from the previous my seniors projects. We utilized the available resources from our laboratories and made. I hardly don't know whether we spent more than 2,500 for doing that project, but everything, such a support, I'm just saying that for such support I got from my college. So that is the point actually. So definitely if I get that, you also get that. Just go knock the doors. That's it. I feel that you people are like coming, going, just go try, go hit the door, go hit your professor, and just they are always welcoming. They just need you to be coming to them. That's all. They are welcoming. So this is what finally the college, the coursework, and all those things. What you can do with the thing. So let us jump on to the next thing. So okay, yes. Now I finished my college and everything. I learned, as you said, laboratories, classroom, and books. Everything is okay. So, but will I get a job? Always we have a problem. We are not getting a job. I learned I have a good CGPA. I am a gold medalist, but still I'm having a job. So there is a, come on guys, understand there is a bridge between the university and the industry. So that bridge, something is missing in that bridge. So what is that missing point? So see, there is something missing in this bridge. So that bridging gap is what the key answer why we are not getting a job, or we can take it in a very positive way of seeing what the market is expecting out of you. So what we are missing is the point we should think of. So the missing traits, I would say the missing traits of an engineer. So we know if you name a person, you can say he has, so we have such traits and he's having such traits. Missing, we have such traits. So I will say we engineers should have some traits. So David E. Goldberg, professor of Illinois University, has defined what are all the traits which are absent in an engineer when he goes into the industry. So we are going to see this very. This is the most fascinating point of my talk. So we are going to see what are the missing traits and where we lack the engineer-like things. So this slide shows 7 points on what are all the missing points. We are going to compare it with a case study and a small case study, and we are going to run through these points and where we lack or what is the thing which is missing in us to become an engineer. Okay, let's start with art of asking questions. So let us assume we all are being in, we finished our degree, we are placed in a company, and that company is asking you to give a solution for a tank, simple level tank, or control tank. There is a tank, it's an open tank, it's full of water, and we have a spillage. Because of the spillage, I hope you understand what is a spillage. When the level goes up and there will be spilling of water. So because of the spillage, lots of millions is lost by the company. Okay, so this is the problem, and the company is coming to us as an instrumentation engineer or control engineer. They are approaching you and they are asking you to solve this problem so that they don't have spillage. The problem is that they always want the tank to be at fullest of its level, but avoid spillage. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, let us assume Coca-Cola company. So they want the tank to be full always, but they don't want spills. Okay, they don't want overflows. So this is the problem. So if this problem is given to you as an engineer and to be solved, the first step is asking a right question to understand this problem. To understand something, please always ask the question. To understand this problem, to solve the problem, the first step is to ask, what is my process variable? What is my control variable? Whether what I should regulate, whether it is flow feeded or the output control. I believe that you understand these terminologies, but I don't want to spend much time on explaining this terminology because it's not a technical session. These are the variables. Okay, so to solve this problem, you should understand what is the problem. For understanding the problem, you should ask questions. You should know to control the level of the tank. You should know what is your control variable and what is your process variable. At least there are n number of other things which is going to affect that system. But at least you should know these things. You should ask the proper question to them. The client will not come and say, this is my process variable, this is my control variable, you are going to do that. Yeah? So if he knows that, he won't approach you. So he's a manufacturing guy, he's a businessman, he's not worried about all those things. It is a mission to him, it operates in such a way. That's all he knows. It is up to you who is going to find the solution for him. Okay, so I can relate it. If you're not understanding it very much, I can relate it to a doctor. So on seeing a doctor, on seeing a red eyes, he may suggest you, okay, you are having red eyes, you are having cough, and you are having fever. Okay, this might be dengue, or this might be. He does that actually. Okay, you won't say, see, doctor, I'm having red eyes. Doctor, I'm feeling fever. I'm having cough. எனக்கு dengue இருக்குமா அப்படின்னு you never go and ask. You don't put a word to the doctor. You don't say what. He finds it. He asks you the right question. He says whether you have a loss of taste, whether you loss of smell. Those questions he asks. And please, same way you should ask. Well, addressing a problem. Second point is an important point: labeling patterns in the data. After receiving all those things, you should pattern it. You should connect the dots. We engineers lack connecting dots. That's a big thing, actually, big deal, actually. See, you won't believe me. Control system has a link with digital signal processing. How many of you have ever viewed in that perspective? Everything if you want to understand control system properly, you should have been understood the digital signal processing properly. If you want to know clearly understand how an industrial instrumentation works, you should know what is electrical measurements and you should know what is transducers. You should always connect and read. If you are going to computer controlled instrumentation, that PLC or DCS kind of stuff, you should know what is ID and industrial data networks. You should always connect and study. When you are doing we call a terminology called loop check. So in that loop check, you should be able to do everything from circuit theory to digital processing to digital signal processing to control system, and everything in that one single process. After the PLC is mounted, we will check the whole loop, and we'll check. For doing that, we need everything. We need to connect everything. So same way, hopefully you people are studying machine learning and artificial intelligence. There, these pattern classifications that all you'll be studying, those jargons, actually we should do it after getting those information from the client. So in our problem, we should know what is the process variable, control variable, how this process variable is affected, how this control variable is affected, and those points should be connected, and those data should be filed, and that data should be used for the next step. Then next, modeling conceptual. So after understanding the problem, after asking good question and collecting the data and getting some insight from those data, now you are going to model it conceptually. How you are going to solve it? You would have studied control theory. Okay, yeah, yes, PID controller. How you are going to put that? How you are going to relate the PID controller and this problem, and how you are going to do it? What will be the input to the PID controller? What will be the output to the PID controller? What if there is a disturbance with the system? So how you are going to do with that? So all those things, this is the modeling conceptually is the point where you should be able to relate the real-time problem what you have studied. Okay, yeah. Now the next step is that yes, you have related what is the thing is that. Okay, now before solving the problem, always decompose the problem. You should know whenever you do a problem, always simplify it, put it into parts, and solve it first. It will give you understanding. It will improve the quality of the work, what you need, what you do, and it will give when you solve the problem in a disintegrated, decomposed manner, the collective problem will be solved in a very highly quality and efficient manner. So decomposing is an art, and that is also a trade which is actually missing in today's engineers. Then finally, the next point is that experimenting. So after all these things, problem is solved. You should, before you go and apply your control strategy or something, the solution which you have found into the real time, you should experiment it. You should do the simulation. So MATLAB is one of the simulation softwares where it has grown drastically from when I was introduced in 2014 or somewhere, and today in 2020, it has a drastic improvement where it can simulate anything and everything. Even digital twins can be simulated in MATLAB. So that is the importance of experimenting and simulating things. So you all should also get some insights over those simulation things. And simulation is or experimenting is one of the trait of an engineer. So finally, visualizing and editing. So yes, all this thing until experimenting is something is happening inside the laboratories and your head and in your laptops. Finally, visualizing and editing. So you should be able to put everything into the field. So that is a different thing. So you can simulate a step wave here, but a step wave simulating in the field is a different story, a different pattern. So this should be this you should understand all those implementations of what you can do it. And finally, as I told earlier, communication. All these things you should be able to communicate with your peers and with your client, with your boss, and everyone. So these 7 things are missing till date, with every engineer passing out. Lakhs and lakhs of engineers are passing out, and this is what the market is expecting from you. But these are the basic things. I'm saying I'm not expecting a PLC programmer or an HMI programmer or a system integrator. I'm just expecting basic things. You can ask questions. You can label you can pattern the data or label the patterns from the data what you're getting. You should be able to relate what you studied and what you're getting. You should be able to solve the problem and then finally experiment it. And you should give the solution. You should always troubleshoot and give the solution. And finally, you should be able to communicate your idea. A person who's very well and he's having lots of ideas and he has a very good skill and sitting in a room, ideal room, and at the end of the day, it's just if he's not able to communicate what he's feeling, end of the day, it is just an empty room and a loser guy. That's all I will say. Communication is a very important thing, as I said. So these are the 7 traits I think you all should definitely develop in yourself to become an engineer. These are engineering traits. See, this is. I'm not saying this will get you a job. I'm saying this is the basic qualities to call yourself as an engineer. So it's a big difference. Understand it. Finally, this big question usually asked by one of my professors in my masters. So where we are? Okay. Let us assume in your class you are the topper. In your department, in your college, in your state, in your university, in your state, in India, in world, where you are, just always compare yourself where you are in the whole field, whole world, compare to the level of what is your level. If you are saying I'm good at programming, if you are saying I'm good at Internet of Things, if you are saying I'm good over control theory, just compare yourself where you are in the world. There are millions and millions of equivalent and more equipped engineers out there, and always compare yourself with them, and always put your bars very, very high. Always shoot to the stars. You will land up in the moon. Always keep your in the Tirukural there is a wording says always keep your bars very, very high. Always compare with a higher perspective and higher persons. Always go beyond core hit. Understand that you are never unequal to an engineer who is passing out from an university or an IIT or any other foreign Harvard or Oxford. You are never inequivalent to them. You are always equivalent. Just the small bit is that they have a little bit understanding. They have a little bit understanding over the courses. They have a little bit extra time spent in their laboratories. They have a little bit extensive read the books which were prescribed to you. So that is a small difference. So always compare and hit the stars. So please think globally, have a global mindset. Engineering is beyond what engineers think, and it is beyond colleges and beyond universities. It is beyond what we think. The space station is revolving around the Earth. It is beyond because of engineers. So it is beyond. Please always have a good perspective over engineering, because if you have a good perspective over something, that thing will create. That thing is the key for the fascination towards it. Finally, I'm having just 2 more slides. Don't worry, I'm going to finish it fast. I just wanted to throw some light on the real qualities when it comes to a job. Okay, the big problem, what I see and what the famous authors like Ankit Srivatsa, people like them feel is that 92% of engineers profiles are similar. You won't believe me, yeah, they are similar. Profiles are similar, the resumes are similar. We all always use that one thing. We cut and copy paste from our friend and put those profiles to profiles and apply for the jobs. It is a very bad thing. It might sound funny, but that is a stage of engineers. I want if I talk something on that, it would be in separate session of those placement kind of things and activities. I just don't want to go there. But we have a pitiful situation, and we are not having the clarity on what the job market expects and how to sell yourself. So this is something else. Selling your skills is a very important skill required in today's market. Okay, so first thing, achievements. So achievements is like something what you have done, which is going to make you stand apart from the crowd. It is. I hope everyone says this point to you. You should always stand apart from doing something different, learning something. See, your class has 60 people. Those 60 people are going to compete for a particular job. And what way you are standing apart from that 60 people? So concentrate on something like that. So this is the one of the important thing which the market or the job. When I am coming for hiring, I will look after something like this. Then analytical thinking, the problem solving ability. This is why our college and your profs are insisting you to solve those placement exams and those aptitude training and reasoning things, all those things. This is a mandatory thing. This is you can even relate it to labeling the data. So this is how the problem is going to be stated and how you efficiently solve a problem. So analytical thinking is a very, very important attribute. Then finally, the change leadership. This is bit hard for you as a student to understand, but let us assume leadership is one of the quality which is always expected from engineers. And change is that always engineering, you would have seen the history of engineering. We every year, okay, let us assume, for example, it is the 2017 Internet of Things where it was in the starting stage. Now, Internet of Things has traveled so far from 2017 to within these 3 years. We are talking about digital twins, which is unimaginable at that stage in 2017. So, engineering is a field of technology where there is a fastest transition happens. You would have ever heard of bringing in machine learning and artificial intelligence in control loops of industries. Have you ever imagined of those things? ABB has products for those things. Rockwell has products for those things. It is unimaginable. There were times where we would have thinking that artificial intelligence, neural network, and fuzzy logics are just on research papers. It is not the case. It is a very fast changing technology, and how you can be a leader in such a fast changing world. See, always leader is a person who is on top of everyone. So to be a leader in the phase of change, it is a very tough task. You should be updated. You should be updated every single day. What is happening throughout your field? What is happening throughout your domain? So that change management and during the change, being a leader is an extraordinary trait the job seekers is going to look for. Then creating an impact and being influential. So when you are in a team, you should be creating impact. You should make the team members feel that you are having some impact over the project. You are having some impact over the work what you are doing, and you are having some influence over the whole system. And you should be influential. To be influential, you should be strong on your points and thoughts on your skills. So everything is intervened and everything is interlinked. Okay, so to gain these things, you should be strong with your basics. So to impact and influence, you should be strong with your basics. So that thing is very important. The next thing is that being initiative. So if you have lots and lots of ideas, if you have good communication skills, you'll be initiating a talk. You'll be initiating an idea, how to solve a problem, how to go with this thing. Then finally, as usual, teamwork is teamwork is always there, always one of the traits which we expect the market expects from you. So finally, we are ending up the session. Finally, these are the keys to be an or being an engineer, to be a better engineer, to grow passion towards engineering is these 4 points. So become an engineer in your college itself. So if you are not an engineer in your college, when you are not feeling that after finishing the 4 years, you didn't feel like an engineer, no institute or no company is going to make you feel it. So if you itself are not feeling you are a good engineer, how do you expect a company to hire you and make you feel as an engineer? So engineering should happen in the college. Please understand that. Okay, it should happen in the classroom. It should happen in the laboratory. It should happen in the books. It should happen in the college. You should be an eligible engineer when you appear for a job interview. So please don't appear for a job interview if you are not feeling that you are capable of doing that one. So the point 2 is that you always can become an engineer very easy 3 ways: classrooms, laboratories, and books. And finally, the third point is that I mentioned those 7 points. Develop those engineering traits, and that is what we are looking for. That is what any firm, any company, name it, is looking for. If you have all those 7 traits, you are the next big engineer of that firm. Okay. Anyone in Tamil they will say that it's something like that. Then finally, the last 4: be market ready, be job ready, and that is what the ultimate whole thing is. That okay. So thanks for listening to this. I just wanted to share a few things with you, and hope I shared with things. I know I took 10 minutes extra, but okay, I think you will forgive me for that. So thanks, and if you have any questions, please put it in the comment box, and I think our professors will share it with me, and if I can, I will answer those things. Yes. Thanks a lot. Thanks for this opportunity. Sir, do we have any questions? Yes, sir.
You are so elaborate and so explaining. I think people don't have any questions, but still I will check over here.
Yes, sir.
So they haven't chat box. So how are you this much committed to any work? Opportunity, college, any other thing which comes to your life? That's my question. When you answer this, I want to share some more points, add some more points to your experience which you share.
Okay. So it's actually like one of my very close friend asked me after finishing my bachelor's. He asked me like, "Hey, you could have gone to a job, right? Yeah, master's choose for it's the question." So after finishing the question, he had the same question. எதுக்குடா மாஸ்டர்ஸ் பண்ண, எதுக்கு நீ மாஸ்டர்ஸ் பண்ணனே உனக்கு தெரியல அப்படின்ற மாதிரி he asked the question. So after that I said, I loved doing my masters, and because I just wanted to do masters, I did masters. It is not like some others who I didn't get a job, I went to masters. So everything what I do, அதுதான் என்னோட ஒரு key point இருந்துச்சு. So I won't look at the what is going to I get from doing my master, what I going to get from doing my project. It is not like that. So எனக்கு அது பிடிச்சிருந்துச்சு. I actually as the word said, I really fell in love with the subject, this thing. So I always get happiness doing something, and even in my childhood times, or LED bulb area I will feel so happy. So that thing actually, when I get committed and do something, I'll get happiness. So எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு விஷயத்துல happiness இருக்கும். On these things I get happiness. Today, even at my job, I'm not earning very lavishly, like so I'm getting good salary for what I'm doing. I'm happy with my salary, but it is not very high. It is not very high compared to the market things. But the one thing I'm staying and I'm doing very happily, and it gives me lots of happiness, is that I do what I love. That's all. So that's the one thing actually. When Shivakumar sir asked me to share your experience, I didn't have a lot of experience to be shared, but I have just one key point is that whatever I do, I would try to mark in the work வந்து கார்த்திக் செஞ்ச மாதிரி இருக்கணும் அவ்வளவுதான். That is the whole thing. And when I complete that work, I should feel happy that I have done something good, at least to my part. Yesterday, one of my juniors texted me that tomorrow I'm happy that I'm going to hear from you tomorrow. So I said, don't expect a lot, but definitely I will be having my way of taking things, and I will set a bar for myself, and I will try to achieve that bar. If you ask me to present something in the next day, it will be some other presentation which will be better than this and corrected this thing. So constant updating and constant correcting myself and being happy in whatever I'm doing is what keeping me up going, sir.
That are the words of a true professional. So, and you have learned to be a great professional. Okay. So
Yes.
I am very much happy to have Mr. Karthik Raja, automation engineer, CDM Smith. And when you see to the presentation, I just love the presentation what you have made, and I know what much of time you would have spent to get ready with the presentation. Okay, so you have catered
Yes.
what are the needs of the requirement of the students, so for their future and related to that, and all these things you
Yes.
require some other foresight as well as insight to present all these things. So it is a personal touch what you have given. It's truly a
Yes.
Karthik Raja presentation, and I want to add some more thing for your commitment. The way along, so when you started doing your project, which have won this INE award, so you and your project partner started to explain the project, and someone was slowly listening to that. So once you wanted to explain about the parameters, the high blood pressure or the sweat, what you want to come, you literally ran along the lab and went 2 or 3 floors down and came once again back. So your heart was pumping like anything, you had sweat, and all your systems worked very well. So with this, it once again blew everyone's mind that this one can do wonders. And immediately you said that you had also a future scope. This can be brought into a small earring or an anklet or a whatever ornament can women wear. I suppose everyone know that Cassandra project, and it was IoT for women's safety, and which you have done. It was a timely thing which happened that particular instant. So something was happening towards that particular section, and you immediately came up with an idea, and whatever you have learned, it was put to a societal thing. As you rightly said, so anything will have a slow transfer in their technology. So engineering, technology in the sense in any occupation. So whereas when it comes to engineering, so immediately it will be turned into a product or a project, whatever it is. Okay. So in this presentation, as you rightly started with, who is an engineer, view about an engineer, a personal experience in learning, and still you share your personal experience that you have a sketching book on a table and you're not going through it every day, but it gives the passion or feeling about the instrumentation and the love you have towards the subject. All these commitment, what you have in yourself, will take you to greater heights, Karthik. Okay. And apart from that, what have you shared about language and communication, key technology, internships, this capstone project, and when it comes to the Goldberg's kind of presentation about the art of asking questions, wavelength, any excel themselves in their profession. Okay, so I assure you'll be jack of all trades, and with this presentation, so many of our close juniors will take this path and learn to think themselves and move forward with their abilities and capabilities to a greater height. Thank you for spending your time. This is really wonderful. I thank you so much. So we have a long way to go along with you and our students. Thank you so much, Karthik. We will
Thanks
also
a lot,
improve
sir.
also.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay. So anyway, I wanted to have it as a live session with our students. I think again we will just collect up people those who are really wanting to interact with you, and we will have a special session, so which will be very useful for them to have an interaction. We'll have a very minimal set of people of 20 or 25. So we will
Sure, sir.
have that
Definitely, I
interaction.
can do that.
We're
Yes.
not going to disturb you in a shorter period of time. So we will give you a break. So after maybe one or 2 months, we will once again request you to share your time. So I think you would have gained much more knowledge in this 2 months of time. So we'll also share that after that particular period.
Yes, sir. Yes. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely, sir. I'll be happy to do that.
Shilpa sir, you want to add some more things?
So no, sir. Once again, I'm thanking Karthik Raja presenting today's session in a My College, My Junior series. Okay, thanks Karthik Raja for sharing your experience and your knowledge to your juniors.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
So once again, happy Friendship Day. I think this will be a bridge. So every Friendship Day will try to have you. Apart from this one. Okay. You're available. Still, thank you, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure. Yes, sir.
Can you close the session, sir?
Okay, sir. Can we close the session?
We'll end up the session, Karthik.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir. We'll meet